Hello, fellow boxing fans and boxing family, and welcome back to another prediction video. The video I'm presenting comes by way of request, but before I get into the actual content, I would just ask the usual of you that you would share, like, hit the bell notification, and most importantly, if you're watching, you might as well subscribe. You're just pressing a button and you would be helping me out tremendously, so I'd really appreciate it. The fight I'll be covering in this video, as I mentioned, is coming by way of request. And I'm not sure how to say this one, so I'm going to spell it out. And so whoever requested this video, if you would like me to name your channel in a particular manner, feel free to correct me. I'm okay with that. And this is at ACHMETTKATPULSKY. And I really thank you for this request. And the fight that they requested, I've thought about often, but for some reason I've never done it. But I'm glad they requested it because it's forced me to cover this fight. And it's an important fight for boxing history. And the fight that they wanted me to cover is Roy Jones Jr. versus Floyd Patterson. And I would just say that this fight would take place at any common weight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. So just use your imagination as I'm covering this. But it's a tremendous fight. And to be honest with you, it's a fight that I've gone back and forth on because there's so many factors at play, which is the case when you're putting two legends together. So, well, let's start off with the advantages of each fighter. Floyd Patterson. He does have a height advantage. And what I like about Floyd Patterson is the way he bobs and weaves. He's a brilliant counterpuncher. He knows how to get on the inside, and he applies pressure. I love the combinations that he throws, and he's consistent in there. But on the other hand, the advantages for Roy Jones Jr. is his reflexes. And although Floyd Patterson has the height advantage, Roy Jones Jr. has a reach advantage. I feel that Roy Jones's punches are more explosive. They may have more pop to them. But I feel that Floyd Patterson has a better resume and has been more tested than Roy Jones Jr. And so those factors that I mentioned makes this a very interesting fight and a hard fight to make an analysis on, to tell you the truth. I do feel that Roy Jones Jr. has a speed advantage, more awkward, explosive, and his punches seem to have more pop. But Floyd Patterson seems to be more technically and fundamentally sound than Roy Jones Jr. I definitely feel that he has a better jab. I feel that he has a better resume and is more tested and is more experienced than Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. definitely can't back against the corner against Floyd Patterson because I feel that Floyd Patterson would take advantage of that. And Floyd Patterson could throw every punch from the jab, the straight right, the uppercuts, and he could also throw hooks. And the same is true for Roy Jones Jr. And I will say that Roy Jones Jr. probably had better angles or could throw his punches from more angles than Floyd Patterson. But Roy Jones Jr. was more of a pot shotter than Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson was better at putting his combinations together, sustaining an attack, and just being more consistent. But Roy Jones' power may come into play here, and I feel that Roy had underrated power, and that his opponents were gun shy for a reason. And if Roy didn't have power, a lot of his opponents would have tried to walk him down and would have tried to finish him. So Roy definitely has power. He had power at light heavyweight as well as heavyweight. So that's something that's to definitely not be overlooked. But again, Floyd Patterson was the more fundamentally sound. He fought more heavyweights. And that's the advantage he has against Roy Jones. And another important factor in this fight is footwork. Both fighters had tremendous footwork, but used her footwork differently. For example, Roy Jones used his footwork to evade his opponent's attack, whereas Floyd Patterson used his footwork to put pressure on his opponents, to close the gap, and to get close, to deliver his body attacks and to let off his combinations. The more I think about this fight, just the fact that Floyd Patterson has 15-round experience, that he's fought Muhammad Ali, Archie Moore, Sonny Liston, and just very dangerous, legendary fighters. I'm going to give him the advantage in this fight, but I'm also going to give Roy Jones the benefit of the doubt because at light heavyweight, he was a beast. And so I feel that Floyd Patterson will win this fight. I don't think that he'll be able to stop Roy, but I do feel that he'll be able to pull off a close decision. And so Floyd Patterson by unanimous decision. Those are my thoughts. Please let me know what you think. I'm sure you will. I'll see you next time.